how many people are here for the very first time? Anyone here for the very first time? Raise your hand. Oh, we got a few of you. Okay, fantastic. We're glad you decided to join us tonight. Just so you know, we are a nonprofit community space, and the folks helping you out behind the bar and at the door are all volunteers. Yay, thank you to our volunteers. Sandra's back there waving now. And Francis, our citizen ambassador, has been working the room trying to get you on our email list if you're not on the list. So we're not doing a lot over the summer, but if you get on the list, you'll be all set for the fall when we gear back up. We do have something special coming up, though. We just made a deal. We made a deal. Thank you so much. With the Sarasota Folk Club. And so the Sarasota Folk Club is going to be moving their monthly concerts to Fogartyville starting in July. So it's the last Monday of the month. And performing in July will be Desiree and Jim, and they're a contemporary folk duo from St. Pete. And there will be an open mic before the performance. So if you play and are interested in coming and doing a few songs for us in July, please do. Okay? And then in August, our very own James Hawkins will be our featured performer at the August Folk Club event. So that'll be great. It'll work in July the same way it's been working at the Sailing Squadron. It's a $10 suggested donation, so you just come in, and it's the Monday, the last Monday of the month. Okay? So mark your calendars for that.
SarasotaFolk.org.
SarasotaFolk.org, and we'll have them all up on our website by next week as well. Okay? And then I just wanted to point out that if you didn't notice that we have Pete in an honored place up here in the roof. And so this was when Dave and I took a trip to Cuba, we met a wonderful artist down there, and we commissioned him to do that portrait of Pete. So yes. Yeah. Let's see, anything else, Dave?
No, I guess.
Yeah, we did. We did get there while the getting was good. We have family down there, so. New Critical Times is out, so if you need to get a copy on your way out, we'll be handing them out. You can grab one on your way out. If you want to take some extra copies for UU Church or some meetings that are coming up, you can do that as well. And I think they're still chatting up there. So let me tell you about WSLR. Our community radio station is located right behind this wall at 96.5 on your FM dial, so that's a way you can stay connected over the summer when we're not doing as much maybe in this space. On the internet, you can live stream. Tom Walker, stand up, Tom. Tom is the chairman of our board, and he is the co-host of the Peace and Justice Report on WSLR. So if you're involved in peace and justice activities here locally, he is a man that you would want to talk to. Okay, we have Daddy-O in the house. Daddy-O, stand up. Daddy-O's Collector's Corner, jazz from the 20s, 30s, and 40s on Sundays from 1 to 3 p.m. Mark Bender is back there recording the show for us. Mark hosts Yesterday's Dead Today. If you are a fan of the Grateful Dead, you want to tune in Mondays from 7 to 9 p.m. Dave Beaton's running sound, and occasionally you can catch he and JFK on Wednesday afternoons on Dave's day off, but all too often they don't make it into the studio for Dave's day off. We're really trying to work on him there. Who else do we have? Any other programmers in the house? Salima's in the house, back behind the bar right now. Salima does a fantastic show with Carol, who was here earlier, Wings of the Heart, on Sunday mornings from 8 to 9. So it's a great way to wake up in the morning. Are you guys all set? I was just babbling while I was...
Yes, we were talking. We didn't realize our mics were on.
Oh, hold on.
James Hawkins.
Who?
James Hawkins.
James Hawkins is back on the air with us. Yes, he is. And he hosts Acoustic Airwaves. Is that what it is? Acoustic Waves every other Wednesday from 7 to 9.
Yes.
All right. Fantastic. All right. Let's turn it back over to Jim Scott.
Thank you, Arlene.
One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping at our shores, one earth so green and brown, who could ask for more? I don't need that. And because I love love you, I'll give it one more try to show my rainbow race. It's too soon to die. Let's try that again. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping at our shores. One earth so green and round. Who could ask for more? Who could ask for more? And because I love you, and because I love you, I'll give it one more try. I'll give it one more try to show my rainbow race, to show my rainbow race. It's too soon to die, too soon to die. Some folks want to be like an ostrich, bury their heads in the sand. Some hope that plastic dreams can unclench all those greedy hands. Some hope to take the easy way, poisons, bombs, they think we need them. You know you can't kill all the unbelievers. There's no shortcut to freedom. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping at our shores. One earth so green and brown. Who could ask for more? Who could ask for more? And because I love you, and because I'll give it one more try. I'll give it one more try to show my rainbow race, to show my rainbow race. It's too soon to die. Go tell all the little children. Tell all the mothers and fathers too. Our last chance to learn to share what's been given to me and you. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping at our shores. One earth so green and brown. Who could ask for more? Who could ask for more? And because I love you, and because I love you, I'll give it one more try. I'll give it one more try to show my rainbow race, to show my rainbow race. It's too soon to die. One blue sky above us, one ocean lapping at our shores. One earth so green and brown. Who could ask for more? Ask for more. One earth so green and brown. Who could ask for more? Who could ask for more? One more time. One earth so green and brown. Who could ask for more? Now, I think the problem with this song is that it's got an old politician acquainted with the title, which makes it sound passé.
Well, it's not. You know, it is, you could say that, but actually it's more current today than I think it was when it first came about, you know. You know, how Pete was always the one to grab wherever any creativity was and kind of meld it into his own purposes. And he happened to read a little, I don't know if it was an essay or whatever you'd call it, but Calvin Trillin wrote this little piece in, I guess it was New Yorker magazine, and it was called The Ross Perot Guide to And he liked it so much that he put it to music. I picked it up and changed it a little bit, but you might recognize it, some of you. Something in my history is found that contradicts the views that I propound, or shows that I perhaps am not the guy I claim to be. Here's what I usually do. I lie. I simply boldly falsify. I look the other fella in the eye and just deny, deny, deny. I lie. I don't apologize, not me, it's him. I say I never said the things I said, nor did I do the things some people saw me do when confronted by some things they know are true. Help me out here. I simply boldly falsify. Look the other fella in the eye. I look the other fella in the eye and just deny, deny, deny. Words some slickies use to blur their past or muddy up their views. Not me, I'm bold. One thing that makes me great is that I'll never dodge, nor will I obfuscate. I simply boldly falsify. I look the other fella in the eye and just deny, deny, deny. I think that deserves another chorus. You with me on this? I simply boldly falsify. I look the other fella in the eye. I look the other fella in the eye and just deny, deny, deny. Thank you, Donald.
This is way too much fun.
I remember in the late 90s, I had a couple of peace songs, and I was thinking, am I going to just get to lay those aside? And we're talking peace dividend and things like that. Remember that phrase? The peace dividend and everything. Oh, yeah. Just get a new administration, we can fix that. Where are we? I write some profound, deep songs with elementary school kids. Most of the time they are just, you know, I never use them again. I just, they're for the process. But this one I've kept around because it really turned out quite well. Kids in Whittier Elementary School helped me write this song about the rainforest. They told me when I got there, we know what we're going to write a song about. And they told me the rainforest, and I said, well, I lived in Eugene, Oregon at the time. I kind of live in the rainforest. We know how that works. But they've been studying the tropical rainforest. So some of the animals, there's a lot of animals in the song, they are a little more exotic than my temperate rainforest. So they told me about animals, and they told me about the 4 levels of the rainforest, which I thought immediately, oh, that's a good thing for a song. The 4 levels. I'd never heard that before, though. Thought I knew some stuff about the rainforest. It's in a book. So, oh, I just have to tell you, I was playing in Columbia, Missouri, and friends in the back of the audience yelled out, we were just in Costa Rica, and we asked them, do you know the 4 levels of the rainforest? They said, what? So the 4 levels are in there. They go by fast. Then we see how they all go together. I like to say, I think we were thrown out of the Garden of Eden for dividing it into separate fields of study, but that's another sermon. On the ground level, turtles and leopards and snakes live in the shelter the understory makes. The ground is so soft and the air is so clear, with 300 inches of rain every year. Oh, let the rain feed the thirsty ground. Sing me the song of life you sing, such a beautiful sound. Does that sound like a participatory refrain to you? With 4 notes. You can sing it. Oh, let the rain feed the thirsty ground. Sing me the song of life you sing, such a beautiful sound. Oh, let the rain feed the thirsty ground. Sing me the song of life you sing, such a beautiful sound. And down in the ground, the worms and the ants nurture the roots of the flowering plants. And up in the canopy, life is a breeze. Orangutans swing from the limbs of the trees. Oh, let the rain feed the thirsty ground. Sing me the song of life you sing, such a beautiful sound. I like that harmony. Oh, let the rain feed the thirsty ground. Sing me the song of life you sing, such a beautiful sound. Now while some of us sing that part, we need some others of us to sing another part that goes, rain come down, rain come down. That's it. Rain come down. If you got a higher voice, rain come down. Oh, let the rain come down, feed the thirsty ground. Sing me the song of life you sing, such a beautiful sound. And the third verse is, well, let's do it again. Feed the thirsty ground. I got outnumbered. Song of life we sing, such a beautiful sound. Here comes the third verse. Down high up above, where the toucans fly, emergent treetops reach into the sky. There's more kinds of plants than anyone knows. Look out! There's a sloth hanging by her 3 toes. Oh, let the rain feed the thirsty ground. Sing me the song of life you sing, such a beautiful sound. And about this point, I like to put in the pop quiz. What were those 4 levels shout them out, boys and girls, but I'll tell you, this is the way I remember it. My musical memory device, there's the understory, the understory. If you got a low voice, be the understory. Understory, goes up and down. The understory, understory. Or you can be the ground level, the ground level, the ground level, or the understory, or the ground level. Canopy, ground level, canopy. Find your level. Canopy, the under, the canopy, the emergent, emergent. Oh, there's the ground level, and the under, the canopy, emergent, emergent. Oh, there's the ground level, and the under, the chorus. So let the rain come down, the thirsty ground come down, sing me a song of music, such a beautiful song. Oh, let the rain come down, feed the thirsty ground, sing me a song of music, such a beautiful sound. Rain come down, rain come down, rain come down, rain come down. Well, I think that turned out kind of okay. Well, I'm just, I didn't put this in the program. But look, I don't get to do this much to all of you. And I just want to sing you a new song that I wrote, addressing this immigration problem. These immigrants, it's causing so much trouble. My Native American friends agree. The last 500 years have been nothing but trouble. Well, I borrowed, you'll see, I think most of us astute observers will notice that I borrowed something for the third verse. We are but immigrants, refugees from ports unknown, seeds we sow with dreams and hope will not ever be our own. Our children's paths, not ours, but adventures theirs alone. We are wanderers and seekers for the passage safely home. Of salt and water born, of one ocean we are made, gifts of love from fertile soil. So is life's foundation laid. Find rest and refuge here, though our wandering never done. May this haven bless all journeys. Welcome, traveler, we are one. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempest-tossed to me. For those yearning to breathe free, refuse of your teeming shore. Send the homeless tempest tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. Most of us know songs by Pete Seeger from, you know, oh, it's so great to go back to the 60s. You know, this reminds me of the 60s when we used to sing and when we used to play guitars. I just, when people say that to me, I say, well, where did you go? Because I think people are still doing that. Oh, you know, when we used to have those giant peace marches and demonstrations, you know, the largest ones have been in the last few years. Okay, so Laurie Wyatt, and I'm afraid if I bring up Laurie Wyatt, I'm going to have to sing a little bit of this song because Laurie Wyatt is a great songwriter and was one of Pete's real right hand, left hand, both hands men on the sloop, the Clearwater, and he wrote this. And so if I'm going to say that he collaborated with Pete on this song, I just have to sing you a little of this song too. Somos el barco, somos el mar, navego en ti, navegas en mí. What did he say? We are the boat, we are the sea, I sail in you, you sail in me. Somos el barco, somos el mar, we are the boat, we are the sea. Navego en ti, navegas en mí. We can do that. Somos el barco, somos el mar, navego en ti, navego en ti, navegas en mí. We are the boat, we are the boat, we are the sea, we are the sea. I sail in you, you sail in me. The stream sings it to the river sings it to the sea sings it to the boat that carries you and me. Somos el barco, somos el mar, navego en ti, navegas en mí. We are the boat, we are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you, you sail in me. So there's more verses. Sing that chorus one more time. Somos el barco, somos el mar, navegas en ti, tú navegas en mí. We are the boat, we are the sea. I sail in you, you sail in me. I sail in you, you sail in me. So I got to do those concerts with Pete Seeger. I invited him to that little church, and he came on that Sunday morning, and the sound system was broken that morning. And so he had that song Toshi's, now Toshi and Pete got married in 1943. Toshi Seeger was really the business head who allowed him to, be the folksy, conversational, approachable person that he was. She would order him to do it. In fact, I heard that. You know, she said, "I'll take care of that, Peter. Go talk to the people." And like, you know, so Toshi left us a little more, about 6 years ago now, that I may not be counting right, but in the summer, about 2 weeks short of their 70th wedding anniversary. Is that right? So they were a team. And Pete was really doting on her, not wanting to go far from home around that time. But then when Toshi died, I wonder if, would he kind of just fold up? But actually, he kind of had a resurgence of energy. Next thing I know, oh, he's in Buffalo. Oh, he's on TV. He's
walking on Wall Street.
And the Occupy Wall Street and all that stuff. He was there, and on Stephen Colbert's show, he held up really well against that faux Republican thing and all that. So. I got to visit him, and I want to tell you that I got to pile firewood with Pete Seeger. And because we were coming together to rehearse. So we did that service in the morning that time, and I thought, I'll do the requisite beginning of the service, and then I'll just call him up and ask him a question, and that'll be good for a song, and it was. And the service went a little less than 2 hours, and nobody left. And we ended about an hour and 45, we launched into a rousing, "If I Had a Hammer." And then we get done, and Pete says, "We'll have to do this again." And gesturing at me, he said, "We'll do a benefit concert for the church." And I forgot, this church burned down, and they'd built a little already too small building. So we did a benefit concert for the church and packed all these people in there. But it was small area, and they were afraid to sell any more tickets because they had asked police to help with the parking lot and everything. So then I said, "Well, now we've done that, we've rehearsed a little bit. I promise I'll never ask you again, but could we do a bigger concert somewhere?" We had done a big benefit concert for the UU Service Committee, the UUSC, some time before that in New York City, and all the egos and the territories and the producer and everything. If you can imagine a guy standing down in front of the stage telling Pete Seeger to wind it up so that they can, which I'm sure he'd been through that before. But so I thought, where can we go? The White Plains Unitarian Universalist Church is a great big church and has a huge parking lot. So we got 400 people to come there, kind of hardly advertising at all. And we did some of these same songs that we're doing now. And I asked him, could I do a Pete Seeger workshop, song fest? He said, "Oh, sure." And at the time, I made up a little handout of some things, and I did it 3 times with choirs that, one was in a school and 2 were in a church. And that's just not the way Pete Seeger would do it. Everybody's like, "I'm so excited, I am happy, and I am," what's that? Is that an F sharp there? Like that. So I thought, I'm just going to do it by ear. And when Pete left us, I did a Pete Seeger Song Fest concert in Worcester, Massachusetts. And we barely advertised, and 150 people came. And then some people in Harvard, Massachusetts. That's not the college, that's a town. They said, "Can we do it there?" And a whole lot of people came. So I've discovered that Pete Seeger draws a lot more people than Jim Scott does. And I haven't wanted to exploit the situation exactly, but I think Pete would laugh to know that he's made work for a lot of folkies all over the country by having a 100th birthday. So Pete's 100th birthday was in May 3rd. And I just wanted to tell you, I was at his house and we piled firewood. And it was snow, it was wintertime. And he was chopping wood. He was still chopping wood in 93. And 94. And he has a little electric pickup truck that was a Datsun pickup truck that he said, this college professor, he put this electric motor in here. It only has one gear. And it comes in. And so we loaded, you know, they had firewood all piled under tarps and everything. We pile out the thing full, drive over to the house. He's very fastidious about piling it up against this beautiful stone wall, the north side of his house that he built himself. And we're piling the wood, and he's getting in there. And we're done. He said, my gosh, that went fast. I said, Pete, you could charge for this. like what's his name? I lost it. You know, charge the people for painting the fence. Yeah, you know, you all know. Help me out. Huckleberry Finn. Tom Sawyer. Anyway, so we're doing that, and he said, now, you know, Laurie Wyatt was down here. I said, oh, yeah, I heard he's doing better. Yes, he had a stroke, you know, but he's doing better. And he said, Pete, I got these half-written songs, and I wonder if you could help me. So he came down here, he slept in the barn, and we made these songs. And this is, I'll just say one more thing. He said, 93 years old, the first time I used God in a song. not sure what to make of it. Not sure if it's serious or if it's a joke. You might see a little bit here that has to do with some current events of the time just a few years back. When we look and we see things are not as they should be, God's counting on me. God's counting on you. And when we look and we see things are not as they should be, a little different. God's counting on me. God's counting on you. That's the way it goes. Chorus. Hoping we'll all pull through. Hoping we'll all pull through. Hoping we'll all pull through. Me and you. It's time to turn things around. Trickle up, not trickle down. God's counting on me. God's counting on you. Now you sing it. It's time to turn things around. Trickle up, not trickle down. God's counting on me. God's counting on you. Hoping we'll all pull through. Hoping we'll all pull through. Hoping we'll all pull through. And when drill, baby drill, turns to spill, baby spill, God's counting on me. God's counting on you. And when drill, baby drill, turns to spill, baby spill, God's counting on me. God's counting on you. Hoping we'll all pull through. Hoping we'll all pull through. Hoping we'll all pull through. Me and you. Now these verses go like that. I sing something and then you sing it back. I think just for the consideration of time, I'll just sing one verse and then another and you'll get some jokes. Many wrong turns we made. Change the course, don't be afraid. God's counting on me. God's counting on you. I'll sing another one. Don't give up, don't give in. There's a better world to win. God's counting on me. God's counting on you. Hoping we'll all pull through. Hoping we'll all pull through. Hoping we'll all pull through. Me and you. Yes, there's problems to be solved. Let's get everyone involved. God's counting on me. God's counting on you. What we do, you and me, will affect eternity. God's counting on me. God's counting on you. Hoping we'll all pull through. Hoping we'll all pull through. Hoping we'll all pull through. Me and you. Well, he said, I'm not sure about all this God talk in the song, because I know people that don't feel comfortable singing things like that, but God, if you want to just consider it, God is reality. If you're out of tune with reality, you're out of tune with God. I said, well, you could soften it by putting in love's counting on you, or earth's counting on me, you. Or how about you're counting on me, I'm counting on you. When we sing with younger folk, you must never give up hope. You're counting on me, I'm counting on you. Sing that again. When we sing with younger folk, we can never give up hope. You're counting on me, I'm counting on you. And hoping we'll all pull, hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, me and you. One more time, hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, hoping we'll all pull through, me and you. Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera. Maybe I want to keep these on. In 1958, Pete latched onto this song from a young classical music student from Cuba, Julian Orbon, who was studying at, I don't think it was Juilliard, I think it was Columbia. And this song, I hate to, once I start this, go back, I just want to show you. It was all 1, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5. Just the changing of this one thing. Guantanamera, 2, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera. So many of these songs go 1, 4, 5, you know, la 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 la. And Juan Fernandez Diaz, a band leader in wicked old Havana, back from the 40s, it might have even been before that, but in the 50s had a radio program even. This was his theme song. And it had silly words about some guy's girlfriend stole his sandwich and let's dance. So Julian Orbon took the words of Jose Marti, the poet, the, not national, I would say poet laureate, that's not right, but you know, everybody in Cuba would know Jose Marti, who lived in the 1800s, died about 1890. And so, slowing it down a little, he fitted the words from this epic poem of 100 verses. And actually, I think some of it from something else. He fitted together some verses that fit right to this song, but with this refrain, Guantanamera, hey, and Guajira is a kind of folksy, or maybe a slightly derogatory term, like hey girl, home girl, something like that. So the chorus is still there, but the words are Jose Marti's. Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, makes for good harmony. Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera. He says, I'm an honest man from the land of the palm trees. Here, let me tell you stories of my life. Yo soy un hombre sincero, de donde crece la palma. Yo soy un hombre sincero, de donde crece la palma, y antes de morir me quiero echar mi verso del alma. Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera. You can help me out here. He says my verses are verdant green, but my verses can be a flaming red, flaming crimson. My verses can be like a wounded fawn in the mountain forest. Mi verso es claro, el barril encendido. Mi verso es claro, el carmín encendido. Mi verso es barrilo que busqué en el monte amado. Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera. Jose Marti knew Spanish imperialism. He knew American imperialism. He didn't live quite long enough to see the U.S. Marines invade Cuba in the 1890s and set up many military bases across the island to jump off and invade Haiti and Central America in the Spanish-American War. His verses are about this agrarian lifestyle and the beauty of the land and dignity of working people, and he says, with the poor, I'll be with them. You can tell us.
Con los pobres de la tierra, quiero yo en mi suerte echar. Con los pobres de la tierra, quiero yo en mi suerte echar. A rayo de la sierra me complace más que el mar. Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera.
So Jose Marti would have had no idea this song would perpetuate his sentiments, or that this song, with this mixture of the more contemporary chorus and his words, would become, and Pete Seeger had no idea in 1958, but he spoke about it later, that this little place down in southeast Cuba, right by the fence, would be synonymous with the corruption of war and illegal imprisonment and torture. Guantanamo. Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, Guantanamera, Guantanamera, Guajira, There's a little bit more note of seriousness here than we thought. We're going to get to humor, don't worry, but Here's a song that changed, that altered the world. When you think, oh, songs, what do they do? Here's a couple, I'm leaving you in suspense, but you'll not understand. Here's a couple of songs that evolved into what we know. Early 19th century, or 1900s. The world is one great battlefield with forces all arrayed. And da-da-da-da, I forgot. I'll overcome someday. I'll overcome someday. I'll overcome someday. If in my heart I do believe, I'll overcome someday. So that old gospel song is one thing. But here's another that also adds up to the evolution of this. I'll be all right, I'll be all right, I'll be all right someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe I'll be all right someday. So this would be one of those up-tempo, clapping on the offbeat boogie songs that we rock out, and it's a zipper song. I'll go to heaven. I'll be like him, capital H. And whatever the sitting at the right hand. And I'll be in heaven in the clouds, and so on. And there might have been a verse in this zipper kind of thing. I'll overcome. I'll overcome. So how ba da 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 becomes ba da 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 twice? We don't know. Nobody wrote some contemporary editorials at the time as this one song kind of morphs into another, and in this oral tradition style. But Zilphia Horton, Miles and Zilphia Horton were folk singers, leftist folks, and folk collectors. Now Pete, of course, Pete Seeger had been out with the Lomaxes collecting songs and all of that. Pete and Guy Carawan frequented a place called the Highlander Folk School, the Highlander Center, outside of Knoxville, Tennessee. Woody Guthrie even dropped in there too, but it was a place where they trained political, what's that word? Community organizing would be what it is, now. Our last president was a community organizer, but I'm not sure there was a term in the 40s. It was rabble-rouser or something, or troublemaker or something. So Zilphia Horton heard the song the way we know it now, Slow Down, by women, African-American women, striking at a cigarette factory in North Carolina. And she heard the song and said, wow, that is really different. There were other songs that said, I'll overcome, or, overcoming, and so on. This phrase, to overcome. Yes, the world is a den of iniquity. The very law of the land denies you your humanity and enslaves you, and yet I will rise above that. I will overcome. And many of the songs, of course, cloaked in what they were forced into, the slaves were forced into Christian religion, and they bought into that, this religion of hope, and all. They're cloaked in words about the afterlife, over yonder, after a while, over Jordan, gone to live with Jesus. But many of them, they don't mean I'm going to die. They mean I'm going to sing about the land that hasn't come yet, the promised land. I'm going to sing about the world that doesn't exist yet, and have faith and have hope that that world could come about. And so you won't see me tomorrow. I'm going over Jordan. That's not I'm going to die tomorrow. That's I'm going to be on the Underground Railroad. I'll be in Oberlin next week, and I'll be in Canada. You won't see me around the old campfire. So this was code for slaves to sing, and then for another 100 years of Jim Crow and oppression, is for the oppressed to sing about liberation right under the noses of their oppressors. I got a real lecture about this when I went to the Highlander Center with our local 1,000 of the Musicians Union, which is lots of folkies, traveling musicians. Bernice Johnson Reagan was there. Now, we know her from Sweet Honey in the Rock, the women's African-American women's harmony group, but all those women had day jobs. She was the curator of the Smithsonian African-American History Museum. So she knows what she's talking about. But earlier, when she was young, she was a young activist from Albany, Georgia, who came up to the Highlander Center, as did so many others. The Hortons, Pete would drop, and Guy Carawan became the resident musician there. White and black fighters for liberation all came there. Pretty much anybody who's anybody in the civil rights movement probably went through the Highlander Center. Rosa Parks went to the Highlander Center. The young Dr. King went to the Highlander Center. So they get this training in this octagonal or hexagonal, I can't remember, building. They sit in a circle in rocking chairs to get their training, and they all sing songs all the time. All the training, nonviolent training, is threaded through and through with songs. So at this point you could get killed, white and black people riding in a car together up from Mississippi or something. So they did this slick little thing. White people from Natchez and black people from Charleston would come one week, and the next week white people from Atlanta and black people from New Orleans or something. And they would get this training and they'd learn all these songs. They'd go home and they'd know each other by the songs. So the song gets slowed down with this triplet rhythm that's so pervades so much African music, and then becomes jazz, swing, and doo-wop, and everything else. This triplet rhythm in gospel music. I know you know it. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I know that I do believe that we shall overcome someday. So it's slowed down, and when you're stretched, you know, a quarter mile up and down the sidewalk or something, you don't sing rapid fire songs, and you sing slow, and you're probably kneeling. Kneeling? Remember that? So disrespectful to be kneeling or sitting down so as not to be threatening to the police with their weapons and fire hoses and horses or vehicles. So you sing songs and it gives you some backbone. You're not afraid. One verse could be, "We are not afraid." With the Southern Christian Leadership Council, the second verse will be, "God is on our side." But you can put all kinds of things in there. Well, this song just took over the civil rights movement. Legend has it, actually Pete said, the young Dr. King heard this song and said, well, that sounds like the anthem for our whole movement right there. So it wasn't just Dr. King's work, but everybody picked up on this song and began to sing it. So by 1963 and the March on Washington, everybody knows this song. Then it goes on from there. I remember just happening to see a TV in 1968. It might have been 1969. And here's students in Italy singing this song, demonstrating. This song was sung in Tiananmen Square. This song was sung even with the rich tradition of South African freedom songs. This song was sung when Nelson Mandela was released from prison. I went on the Soviet-American Peace Walk in 1988, and here's a choir of young women from a college in the Ukraine singing this song. The verse that works better, maybe better, I didn't mean that. The next step, the best next step might be this. We shall live in peace. Everybody. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome. We shall overcome someday. I'm worried about, if we're going to have to pay you overtime or something. Otto Preminger asked Pete to write a song for a movie. And late 60s, I believe we're talking. And now Otto Preminger is the first movie maker to take Dalton Trumbo and have him write a screenplay and then put his name at the end of the movie, because he was blacklisted also. And he wrote just, I think, hundreds of screenplays, of movie scripts, B movies, and just, he managed to make a living under an assumed name as he was blacklisted. So Otto Preminger was being brave to let's get Pete Seeger to write something. And he said, do you have something about people who are struggling but will not give up? And Pete said, oh, I got some songs for that. He flew out to California, they met. Pete tried a bunch of songs, and he said, well, that's not quite what I was looking for. And Pete he said he had an idea on the plane. And he went off to the hotel room, and he came back a little while later. He said, well, I got this song, and this is the song. And Otto Preminger said, oh, you had that all the time. You didn't just make that up. Old devil time, I'm gonna fool you now. Old devil time, you'd like to bring me down. But when I'm feeling low, my lovers gather round and help me rise to fight you one more time. Old devil fear, you with your icy hands. Old devil fear, you'd like to freeze me cold. But when I'm sore afraid, my lovers gather round and help me rise to fight you one more time. You can sing this. No storm or fire, no storm or fire will ever beat us down, can ever beat us down. No wind that blows, no wind that blows, but carries us further on. And you who fear, and you who fear, oh lovers, gather round, and we can rise, and we can rise. down and help me rise to fight you one more time. No storm or fire, no storm or fire can ever beat us down, can ever beat us down. No wind that blows, no wind that blows, but carries us further on, but carries us further on. And you who fear, and you who fear, oh lovers, gather round, and we can rise, and we can rise, and sing it one more time. Oh devil hate, I knew you long ago, then I found out the poison in your breath. And when we hear your lies, my lovers gather round and help me rise to fight you one more time. No storm or fire, no storm or fire can ever beat us down, can ever beat us down. No wind that blows, no wind that blows, but carries us further on. And you who fear, and you who fear, oh lovers, gather round, and we can rise and sing it one more time. And we can rise and sing it one more time. Well, may the world go, the world go, the world go. Well, may the world go when I'm far away. You can do it. Well, it's all kind of a lot of the same stuff. A well-known songwriting trick that I'll admit I haven't used all that much myself is if you want everyone to sing with you, make 3 out of 4 lines the same words. Well, may the world go, the world go, the world go. Well, may the world go when I'm far away. Well, may the skiers turn, the swimmers turn, the lovers burn. Peace may the generals learn when I'm far away. Well, may the world go, the world go, the world go. Well, may the world go when I'm far away. Sweet may the fiddle sound, the banjo plays the oboe down. Dancers swing round and round when I'm far away. Well, may the world go, the world go, the world go. Well, may the world go when I'm far away. Fresh may the breezes blow, clear may the streams flow. Blue above, green below when I'm far away. Well, may the world go, the world go, the world go. Well, may the world go when I'm far away. One more. Well, may the world go, the world go, the world go. Well, may the world go when I'm far away. This is Bob Killian over here on the orchestra. Carolyn Dunn. And that could be the end, but that was the concert, and here's the encore. I could get up and say, oh, thank you, you're too kind, you'll be out the door soon. The Weavers had a #1 hit song. We have to explain to anybody under 30, records, they're like CDs, but they're bigger, and they have 2 sides. You turn it over, and there's this stuff on the other side. So the B side, the disc jockeys wanted another song. They didn't have another song. So the disc jockey, another record. The disc jockeys turned it over. Here's a song by an African-American ex-convict. Hudie Ledbetter. Leadbelly. A song about a woman of ill repute. A song about a woman of the evening. Some people think it's just a nice lullaby if you listen to Nelson Riddle's violins at the beginning. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Last Saturday night, I got married. Me and my wife settled down. Now me and my wife are parted. Didn't take long, gonna take a little stroll downtown. What does that mean? Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. You got one?
Sometimes Irene wears pajamas. Sometimes Irene wears a gown. But you know when Irene hangs her laundry out, it is the talk of the town.
Irene, good night. Good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Well, sometimes I live in the country. Sometimes I live in town. Sometimes I get a great notion to jump in the river and drown. Play us a little bit. Stop rambling, stop your gambling, stop staying out late at night. What? Go home to your wife and family. Stay safe by the fireside light. Ladies' choice. Irene, good night. Good night. Irene, good night. Good night. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Well, this has been an experience of a lifetime. Gotta throw in one more rhyme. Good night, good night, good night. They may not be that terrific, but I'm nothing if not prolific. Good night, good night. Pete volunteered me to do it, and who am I to say no to it? Good night, good night, good. If he were here, he'd say, look, I mean it most sincerely. I love you all dearly. Good night, good night, good.
Thank you.
Wendy and Jim, Carolyn. Rob Julian. Thank you very much.
Tim Scott. Tim Scott.
That's me. I'm usually the biggest. So that was great singing. I don't like to compare audiences, but thank you so much. That was just really a validation. If you'd like to sign my mailing list, it's right over here. And thank you so much. I do hope to come back when it's cold up north. I would like to come back and sing you my song. Thank you for coming. Thanks. And thank you, Dave, and all the crew. And sound, especially. Thank you.
Huh? Where are you parked? I'm going to walk you to your car.
Where are you parked? You could drive me there.
Hey.
Yeah, you could drive me
Do
through
it again. In my dreams. Well, sometimes I live in the country. Sometimes I live in town. Sometimes I get a great notion to jump in the river and drown. Play us a little. Stop rambling, stop your gambling, stop staying out late at night. What? Go home to your wife and family. Stay safe by the fireside light. Ladies' choice. Irene, good night. Good night. Irene, good night. Good night. Of a lifetime, gotta throw in one more rhyme. Good night, good night, good night. They may not be that terrific, but I'm nothing if not prolific. Good night, good night.